Hello, welcome to Biology for You. In this video, we are going to discuss PCR or polymerase chain reaction. So, in this video, we are going to have the basic idea of the PCR, what exactly it is, and what is the importance of PCR, and what are the different stages of the PCR reaction. Uh, so let us discuss what exactly the PCR is. So, first point is, what is PCR? So PCR, the name stands for polymerase chain reaction. So this polymerase chain reaction is very much popular method of amplifying DNA inside the laboratory. So we can artificially amplify the specific portion of the DNA. So using this PCR reaction. So it is very much popular method in the molecular biology and genetic engineering laboratories. In order to study some genes, in order to make manipulations in that genes, in order to understand different portions of the DNA, first we need to have DNA to be quantified, and also whatever we want to do with the DNA, so we need to have DNA to be amplified. So for that, PCR reaction is very common procedure to be employed. So here, by this PCR reaction, as we already discussed, it will artificially amplify the DNA, portion of the DNA. So here it mimics the natural system of the replication, what will happen inside the cell. So if a cell want to divide, if a cell want to undergoing for the cell division procedure, first the genetic complement of the cell need to be duplicated. Otherwise, so if a cell want to divide, the genetic material in it need to be duplicated to give same proportion of genetic material to its daughter cells. So for that, first the two strands of DNA will be separated into two single strands of the DNA, and their primers will be binding. So these primers are nothing but the oligonucleotides of the oligonucleotides which have the complementary sequences with the DNA that is going to be replicated. So they go and find the complementary sequences, thereby binding with the complementary sequences. They initiate the complementary strand, synthesis of the complementary strand. So the complementary strands for each single strand of the DNA will be carried in the direction of 5' to 3'. So that is the directionality of the DNA replication. So here these primers will initiate this synthesis of complementary strands by sequentially adding the nucleotides. So these nucleotides will act as building blocks of the synthesizing DNA. So these nucleotides will be sequentially added in the newly synthesizing strand of the DNA. So by the end of procedure, two of such copies of the DNA will be obtained from a single set of DNA. So that is the natural process. So the major enzyme involved in the DNA replication is DNA polymerase. So this is the essential for the DNA synthesis. Along with this DNA polymerase, there are many other enzymes and cofactors, and cell will provide proper atmosphere for the DNA duplication. So it is a natural process, natural and a regular process in the cells. But basically, if we want to go for such duplication process in the laboratory, we need to go for PCR reaction or polymerase chain reaction. So it is the artificial process that mimics the natural process of the DNA replication. Here The difference is the natural system will provide proper atmosphere, all requirements for the DNA replication, but in the laboratory that is not possible. The laboratory experiment doesn't have the luxury of having that many enzymes, cofactors, and the atmosphere, proper in vivo atmosphere, but instead only few essentials that leads the reaction will be taken, and we can artificially amplify the DNA into number of copies, the amount what we require. We can amplify that much DNA using this PCR reaction. That is the beauty of the PCR reaction, and the importance of it is, if you want to go for a genetic engineering or molecular biology experiment, you need a DNA, and the quantity of DNA should be enough for the experiment to proceed. And if you want to amplify or if you want to identify specific portion of the DNA, you need to go for PCR reaction. And basically, coming back to the history, this PCR reaction was actually discovered by the scientist named Kary Mullis in the year of 1983, and he awarded by the prestigious Nobel Prize in the year of 1993 for his discovery of this and PCR reaction. And in this reaction, what we need to do actually, instead of providing all these requirements, generally we employ temperature cycles. So the PCR machine acts like a thermocycler. That means it repeatedly changes its temperature, reaction temperature, so that the denaturation of the DNA and renature of the DNA automatically will happen. That means at high temperatures the DNA molecules present in the reaction mixture will be denatured. At low temperature they will again renature, and the primers will be binding to its complementary sequences at specific temperature. So like that, the temperatures will be provided specific for the reaction to carry it. So here we need some essentials. Before we are going for the PCR reaction, we need to fix the reaction mixture. So the PCR reaction mixture contains some of the essentials, like first one is buffer. So before we are going to perform this PCR reaction, we need to prepare the reaction mixture. The reaction mixture contains buffer. Buffer is the solution which provides aqueous environment for the reactions to be proceeded, and it is also having some of the salts required for the reaction that supports the reaction. Buffer is the medium for the reaction. And next one is DNA polymerase. So basically, this DNA polymerase is the enzyme required for the DNA synthesis. But here the normal DNA polymerase from any organisms cannot be taken. That means this PCR reaction, as we employ temperature cycles, that means at high temperature we need to proceed this PCR reaction. So the special enzyme which resists the high temperatures need to be employed here. So here the Taq polymerase will be taken. Basically, this Taq polymerase is obtained from the bacteria called Thermus aquaticus. So this Thermus aquaticus bacteria is inhabitant of the hot springs. So because of the presence of hot springs, the enzyme machinery of this Thermus aquaticus is highly resistant towards the temperatures. So that type of DNA polymerase, Thermus aquaticus DNA polymerase, will be taken for the PCR reaction, and it can resist the high temperatures employed in the PCR reaction cycles. So So that is the second requirement of the PCR reaction. And coming to the other, we need Mg2 plus ions. These are the cofactors, and DNTPs. DNTPs are the building blocks. We have DATP, DZTP, DCTP, DTTP in our mixture of DNTPs. So we are going to add DNTPs mixture and primers. So primer, as we already discussed, primer is the sequence or the oligonucleotide sequence of the DNA which is complementary to the target portion of the DNA that is going to be amplified. So here we selectively amplify the portion of DNA based on the selecting of the primer set. That means here we are going to use this forward and reverse primer. So two primers, forward primer and reverse primer will be there. So each of the primer will go and find the complementary sequences in the DNA, and there they bind with the DNA, and here after binding they initiate the DNA synthesis. The complementary strand will be synthesized. So in order to initiate the DNA synthesis we need primers. And the other essential thing is the DNA template. So DNA template is the DNA that is going to be amplified. So this is the other essential. So these are the minimum basic essentials of the reaction mixture. So once after addition of all the PCR requirements or essentials, we are going to place the reaction tube in the PCR machine. Basically, as we already discussed, the PCR machine is a thermocycler. Basically, that means semiconductors will be fixed and heat will be transferred from one to the other, so that the temperatures will be repeatedly changing from high temperature to medium temperature or to low, like that. So basically, once after you place your reaction tube into the PCR machine, you need to fix the program specific for the DNA amplification. So first you need to make the denaturation, next primer binding, then the DNA synthesis. These are the main 3 steps involved in the PCR reaction. That means denaturation. First step is denaturation. So once after you place the reaction tube, first it need to denature its DNA complement. So for that you need to provide a proper temperature. High temperatures of 93 to 94 degrees will provide atmosphere for the breaking of the hydrogen bonds, followed by denaturing the DNA present in the sample. And next one is annealing. So annealing is nothing but the process of binding of a primer to the complementary sequence. Generally, primers in the solution reaction mixture will follow the Brownian movements to go and hit randomly with the all DNA sequences. That means they'll go and bind randomly at different positions of the DNA template, and they try to make the hydrogen bonds, but only the binding will be standardized, or the binding is stable enough, will be strong enough to proceed the reaction only when the completely complementary strand is so once after finding a complete complementary strand of the DNA by the primer, the hydrogen bonds are strong enough to initiate the reaction. So they will randomly go and hit the DNA at different positions, but they make hydrogen bonds enough to initiate the reaction when they find the complementary strand. So that is how the primer binding or annealing will be carried, but the temperatures need to be go down for the annealing. For making hydrogen bonds, certain temperatures are needed. Generally, based on the complementarity of the primer and the DNA target sequence, we are going to decide what is the temperature, optimal temperature for the annealing. And also based on the GC content of the primers, we are also going to decide what is the optimal temperature for the primer binding with the target sequence. So here these are the two factors which decides the primer binding temperature between 44 to 54 degrees centigrade. So generally the average temperature of the annealing would be between 44 to 54 degrees centigrade. And later, once after primers are binding, the DNA need to be go for synthesis. The complementary strands need to be synthesized. So for that, we call the step as extension, DNA extension. And for extension step, the temperatures are set to be 72 degrees because the Taq polymerase is active at the high temperatures. So these are the basic steps involved in the polymerase chain reaction. First, at denaturation, the template will be denatured, and at annealing, the primers will be binding, and during the extension, the nucleotides will be added into the growing chain. Okay. And from one DNA, by the end of 3 steps, we are going to have 2 DNAs. So the DNA is duplicated, but we need n number of cycles. That means we need very large quantity of the DNA. So for that, we will repeat the cycles. So once after one cycle of the PCR got finished, we need to go back to the first step. Again so from one strand, 2 strands will be obtained by the end of first cycle, and by the end of second cycle we are going to have, that means once after first cycle got finished, we'll again denature these 2 strands, and the complementary strands will be synthesized. So by the end of second cycle, we are going to obtain 4 of such DNA, and by the end of third cycle, again the DNA complement will be doubled. Like that, whatever the amount we required, we need to decide the cycles, number of cycles. So basically here the number of cycles are generally between 30 to 40 to get enough quantity of the DNA. That is the average number of cycles we generally use in the PCR reactions. And once after all 30 cycles got over, we need to go for a process called final extension. So that is at 72 degrees, and so it ensures, this final and extension ensures the all DNA complement is synthesized properly. And before all this, first we need to give some initial denaturation step. So generally during the initial denaturation step, which is the first step, we generally maintain this 93 to 94 degrees centigrade, and in the final extension step we maintain extension step further. So these are the 2 steps. and the time required for each step would be more or less similar to for initial denaturation we need 5 minutes, and for denaturation in during the cycles that we are going to fix. So for first is denaturation, first step in the cycles, we are going to fix more or less 1 minute, and for the primer annealing at least it requires few seconds, some 30 seconds. So it's like that. For extension of the DNA, or maybe synthesis of the DNA, it require again 1 minute, and the final extension generally for the 5 minutes. So like that we will fix the PCR reaction. First we initially denature all the DNA, and next we will be start cycling the reaction. In that repeated cycles we will have denaturing, annealing, extension. It may happen for 30 to 40 cycles. Once after all DNA got synthesized, again we'll go for some final extension over the period of 5 minutes or like that. Once after this got finished, generally we store the reaction at 4 degrees centigrade until we go and pick up the sample. So that is how the PCR reaction will be generally carried.